We actually went through a lot of them. Convolutional neural networks for like image processing.
So we have worked a little bit.
Networks, transformers, of course, for anything text-based.
So
I join Wi-Fi. You will join?
So I wonder so
it's mind-blowing stuff. I'm not a big I was never a big
I mean the online
a lot of these models
online connection.
Yeah, I will send you the link. Yeah.
Through my mind, you know, statistical interference and derivatives.
So then I should share my screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matrix multiplication.
Нет, не нашли?
No. Stuff, I have to say.
I can't.
But really interesting.
Later.
And I mean, to be honest, I'm not. I don't see myself so much as like generating these models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are amount of people, the number of people creating new techniques, all the right? It's not that much.
Yeah.
But there will be a lot of people.
Exactly. And it's more about the purposes of how you leverage these models.
Can you turn on the projector? Because we connected.
I don't know. It's like
I sent you Zoom link.
When, for example, like there's was looking how to heat up food for astronauts.
I saw it somewhere today, but I don't remember where.
But remote for what?
They didn't know that, they didn't. It was
for the presentation.
Yeah.
Maybe the technology side,
not here?
but they
I
realized the potential to apply it to households all over the world. You know,
Maybe it's
exactly. And I think with AI, it's gonna have this. You know,
can you take
really
from the
make some models, and some other clever guys are gonna say, okay, I can use this model to perform these sorts of things. Yeah. Nice. So you work here in Barcelona?
Yeah.
YouTube. Привет. А вы с какого города?
Я из
Такого. Okay.
What part of Russia are you from? From Moscow. Like the city center or the suburbs, the outskirts?
I live
In the city center.
Yeah. It's, you know.
Okay, now we have 50 registered people, but maybe most of them will be online because they would be arriving over.
Fair enough. How would you compare with St. Peter's, for example?
Petersburg is much nicer.
It's nicer?
Yeah, it's not, you know, it's a little
okay. Yeah, like the New York of Russia, no? In a way, I imagine.
Try it, but you need to take this. No, we need to have something here. So we need to be a thing here that is linked. It's like USB. You can put it in your computer, and then you will have it's Bluetooth.
Okay. That's right. Something is very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard very good things of St. Peter's, like a very beautiful place to visit. And I would like to visit eventually if the situation becomes a bit better. Yeah, hopefully. But it's a tricky situation at the moment. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, it's not easy. Do you go back sometimes, or all your family's here? Nice. You think if you were to go back, you would be drafted?
It's not only that, but I think on the opposed, but it's not.
Yeah. You're in a dangerous situation if you oppose this person there. Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's
No, for sure, it's true. I also cannot imagine going to war, to be honest. For me, my generation, it's never experienced this. I mean, for me, it sounds ridiculous that you cannot solve it through dialogue, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that this topic can go on forever. We're not gonna solve it, you and I. It's not our decision. Yeah.
And one aspect. So much emphasis.
The problem is when the other side has nuclear weapons at their disposal and they're threatening with perhaps using it, then you cannot really negotiate with this person because it's he doesn't like what you're saying. Just okay, we go to home. Bye bye.
Yeah, you need to put it to your USB.
It's a problem.
Perfect.
I have maybe gender. Yeah.
You can.
I have other thing.
Perfect.
Your pictures will.
Oh. Okay.
Do you think it's possible
Yep.
that he will get kicked out? He's going to be kicked out of power?
I think it's it's very good.
And you don't think there is no opposition within his? Do you think that there are maybe quiet opposition, people that say yes to him, but really inside they're thinking the moment I get the chance?
Do you need to relate something?
Oh, it's okay. Everything fine. By the way, the landscape over there is.
Yeah. True.
Wow.
And this is how he's able to maintain power, right? Because everything has to go
We're
through
starting
him,
here.
through his team.
So the speaker is here. Gustavo, can you unmute and tell us if you can hear us? So we will check the sound. So you can stand here. When you will speak, I will bring speaker over
Is
there.
the mic?
Yeah.
You think
They
you know,
will
if
hear you
something
from
were to
here.
happen,
So
like
they will
a
not hear some
knife
people
heart attack, let's say,
over there,
is there a
but
good
they will hear
replacement
you.
for it?
Okay.
You think the replacement would be worse than the current situation?
Yeah, I will go open the door. What? Okay.
Yes. That's
Hello, Gustavo.
Hi.
Can you confirm if you hear the voice? Hello, Gustavo. Do you hear us?
some crazy person, it could be a big problem, no?
Yeah, microwave is moving.
Russia, yeah, of course. Well, but it's a good narrative to sell internally because you get everyone on your side.
Oh,
like
I-
everyone wants
thank
to
you.
defend the Russians to the land, and so everyone unites. No?
What if the after means?
Sorry?
What if the after means Spanish?
How do you find?
After.
Yeah.
After.
But when you are
AWES.
decide what goes in media and how the news are said, and of course,
That's the
I mean, I would in a way
Yeah,
say
but
that like the situation.
I don't know if they have
Trump is
direct
something
translation.
like this. is able to create the right narrative for people to support it.
Oh,
Like, oh, Chinese are taking all our jobs, we need to bring the jobs back to the US, and everyone's like, oh.
okay, why?
Why?
What a wow, something like this.
Ah,
I don't know if there's something direct. Genial,
Kenya.
genial, like
Kenya?
genial,
Yeah,
genial, like
Kenya,
something like this.
yeah. Politics is
I know
complicated also, yeah.
But we should ask Pablo.
What, sorry?
Is there a direct translation for awesome in Spanish?
Awesome. Direct translation for awesome.
Like something that
Es genial, genial, genial.
Wow, that pronunciation really hard to me.
Means like great, awesome. Like this.
Oh,
Genial.
Kenya.
Genial.
Is that K?
No, it's a G.
G?
But when it's a G,
Kenya.
yeah, when it's a G and an E for
Yeah.
some reason, or G or an E or G or an I, you have this sound.
Really,
So
really
it's
hard.
Giro or genial.
So you say Girona, not Girona.
Exactly.
Also Catalan.
Girona. It's a different dialect, so they don't use it. They don't apply the same rules.
But it's from Spanish is Girona.
Girona.
You might explain even the names of the people.
Yeah.
Can sound differently.
Yeah.
Who's speaking?
José en catalán es José. José. Huh?
How is Jorge in Catalan?
It's French name.
I think the translation is Joan, maybe? Or that's Juan. No, that's Juan.
I mean, like pronunciation.
The thing is, a lot of names, like for example, my name Pablo is Paul in Catalan also, P-O-L in Catalan, like Paul in English, P-A-U-L. So like a lot of these dialects have their own version of the name, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Foreigner names, like, I think they stay the same, more or less, right?
Sorry?
Most Spanish names probably stay more things the same, right?
What do you mean Spanish? Like, yeah,
Something that's not Spanish name.
Maybe 5 more minutes and we'll start, okay?
Okay.
I will tell people about the.
yeah, fair enough.
About maybe this place a little bit and we will start. Yeah, oh, okay. Now,
Great.
yeah.
What is there is there an English translation for your name? Is it a like
Anywhere out there.
is it Christian name? Like it comes from the Bible or something like this? Or where you from?
I don't understand anybody. Like Google
No,
popularity or.
Hola, everyone. We are starting soon, maybe in 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that most Christian names they have their own version in each language, like English, French, Spanish, things like
For example, I know George, like, which is most popular name in my country, but a lot of adaptations in different countries.
Yeah.
I
Jorge,
and Georgia.
Didn't George anybody?
Yeah.
Hey?
And people.
Yeah, but not one.
Especially for La Sagrada Familia, which is like very hard support and better access.
Okay, Wi-Fi password is here, just pass it to each other.
Maybe we make a passage here, a little passage now. We don't need.
Yeah, no, it's only you probably will be because people will come late and they will come. So, Sumit, this speaker,
right?
yeah, it's Mike, and I will remove it. You will see. I will remove it here. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't worry about this, because
Okay, got
if
it.
I'm running around, it's not because of speaker.
Okay, got it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We move to the edge, more edge, because gonna be standing here also.
Where you will be standing? Tell us now.
Um,
Where it's comfortable, because
Let me
some people stay there, some people stay here.
so there is the section to start the demo.
And you will sit after this. Okay. No problem.
So maybe there is like the big whiteboard.
If I will be opening door at the moment when the sections come, it just moves.
Okay, okay. I will give you a signal.
Okay. Datos insensibles que no pueden salir de acabo de terminar un
You're gonna be here for now, right? I understand.
Ah, you can sit here, right here.
Okay, I will respect.
Okay. We have already.
Pero vamos, todo lo que es
Can you send me the link too? So I can join?
A ver, puedo.
To check sometimes if I'm like or something, so
Let me
I will
send you.
check this.
I will send you the where in Discord.
There. More or less everywhere.
I think you I have you in Discord. Send me this. Why he says with this? I will read. Mudari. No, no Ram.
No, it's not me. Just try the full name or okay. Telegram, do you have Telegram?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's better.
Of course.
Bueno, yo tengo una.
Yeah, how can I do?
My name is Modar. If you type, I think it's one of the best.
Oh, very much.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe email. Let me send you.
Yeah, okay.
It will
Okay,
be
okay.
fast. What is your email?
Very nice. Yeah.
Привет. If you have questions in chat, I will tell you.
Okay. And there is the section of the Q&A at the last.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we have 12 people online. We can start. Yes, most of our attendees online.
Okay.
Camera here. Here.
Online.
So we are starting now. I will tell a bit about the organization part here. So we have men's toilet over there, like kind of small, and female toilet over there. Yeah. Oh, wow. If you people online, if you can't hear us, please unmute and tell us. I don't hear because sometimes chat we don't see, maybe we are not here. So tell us and we will just move the mic, the speaker.
I will text my visitors.
Yeah, okay. So what is this place? We are today here in Harbor Space University, and I see online also people from Bangkok joined, which is it's our students who moved to Bangkok, and now they study from Bangkok. This is like, I don't know what is the time difference, but it's very valuable workshop for them and for all of us. So in GDG we have workshops and talks like every 2 weeks usually. Usually here in Harbor Space University, sometimes outside of university, sometimes we have other partnerships too. For example, we have a partnership with Atico Barcelona. If you live in Barcelona, you can come to Atico. For example, on Monday, the guy from Google, he's a senior developer in Google, he will give a talk also built with AI. this team. So this place is the University of the Future. It's the university that teach data science, computer science, and many other programs, and students can combine their programs. So they can take this 3 weeks. They're taking course from data science, another 3 weeks from high-tech entrepreneurship, for example. Everything that they need, they will be able to do. So if they want to be developers, if they want to be designers, they will be. If they want to open their business, they also can take courses. They have other opportunities. Check the website of this university. If you're looking for jobs, if you're looking for education, you can check. And now we're working hard on the new products, new programs, and personally me and Roger a little bit. It's our interaction designer, our product designer, Roger. So we will be releasing this hopefully this week, and you will see a lot of new opportunities on the website, on the program page. Yeah, so that's why I'm really excited. So I will introduce okay, a little bit about this place. Like, because I see new people here, so I didn't tell new people about this place. So we are in Villa Olympica, and this office of this university, it was the place that was used for offices of the Olympic Committee. And during the 92 Olympics in Barcelona. And yeah, you see, like around here, Olympic champions lived. And yeah, it's just like interesting. And also this university is located on Carrer de Rodes and Sat, which was in education. And this is like the interesting place to have university. And Google Developer Group invited here as partners. So we are taking this place, and we usually have different speakers sometimes, which we're very happy. We have speakers from the university, so it's our professors. And our professors, they are professionals, same as Sumin. Like they come in here. They come in here for 3 weeks to teach, and then they come back to work as usual. So they are working in some companies as CTOs, as CEOs, and other like positions. And yeah, now we have this Build with AI series of workshops. It's inspired by Google, so they came to all communities around the world, and they tell, okay, we have these amazing people like Google developer experts in machine learning, like Sumin. And we have this opportunity for them to come to your country, to your city, and share something new with you. So we are super happy because Sumin is from Korea, and you are now from the US.
Yeah.
You're coming only for our workshop, and he will tell more about this. So we will have very interesting hands-on workshop. Stay tuned. Maybe we'll have a recording after this, so you will be able to continue working on this. Enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah. Hola. Yeah. Thank you for having me, Katerina, right? Muy bien. Let's see. So today I will talk about something very long title, but I'm talking about the prompt engineering technique. So nowadays the Google released the Gemini U large language model, which is the massive multimodal generative AI model. And there is another large language model known as GPT. So we are looking more like the into the depth of large language model, and then how can we optimize the output in terms of the quality by tuning the prompt engineering, and then we will see around what is the SFT technique of the fine tuning the model, but we will more like the focus on the prompt engineering. So what I wanted to talk is more like I wanted to introduce Gemini first, and then I will talk about the instruction-based in-context learning technique, and then we'll figure out what is in the prompt engineering topic, and then there is the tool about the generative AI studio. Actually, there is the Google AI Studio, But when I came to Europe, Spain, I realized that the AI studio is not available in this region. So I changed it. I changed the entire presentation after I realized that actually Gemini, there's the two methods to use the Gemini. First is the Vertex AI, and second is the AI studio. But AI studio is not available, so I changed all the API to the Vertex AI version. But Vertex AI is more like the enterprise version, and then it is more open to customize the parameter, and Vertex AI is very open to allowing the new feature of the Gemini more than AI Studio. So it will fit for this presentation. And then I will give a demo. So I already prepare for demo. So it will be a little bit busy. So there is the Corep example code. And then I have a service account. I have a credit from Google. So I will open the API key, but don't use that to some like the Bitcoin or like just don't be like the mining some like the blockchain something. Don't use that because actually that credit is not much. And then the finally is the LangChain. So we were talking about the chain of thought or the LMM chaining technology and the retrieval augmented generation, which is the RAG technique. And then I will give a conclusion. So I will give like the better solution, which is the do, and then I will give an anti-pattern, which is the don't. So there is the conclusion. So about me, I came from South Korea. It is far away from Spain. It took like 14 hours by flight, and then I arrived 2 days ago. And then I'm coming here only for this presentation. I paid flight ticket, right? And then I'm part of the tech director. I started as the ML engineer, and then I became the MLOps lead, and then I became the tech director of Reed. Reed is the AI education company. We are using AI technology for solving education problems. So helping students and then giving some very critical material to learning to increasing the learning efficiency, by the way. That is the boring thing. And about the Google community, I am part of the Google community as the Google developer expert. Category is the AI ML, and then both I am also Cloud GDE, so both title. And then I'm also the Google developer group core organizer of Go language. So I am thinking about the Go language event. So after 1 week, there is another event in Korea, so I need to come back. So that's the reason I wanted to see around the Europe. That is the very beautiful city. That was no chance. And I am the mentor of Python category. I am mentoring 3 teams currently. So tomorrow, 2 p.m., there is another like the mentoring program, so I need to connect to the Google Meet. By the way, that's all my title, and I came from South Korea. Thank you for welcome, and thank you for having me. I'm very excited to talk about Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Gemini is the next generation version of the LMM. Goodbye Palm, goodbye Bard. Gemini is new. Gemini released like the last year, end of last year, and then it is the next generation multimodal generative model. So Palm has been became legacy model, and then currently the Google Cloud team working very hard to replacing the Palm API guideline to Gemini, so we can use the Gemini. When we see the Gemini have a multiple like the size, multiple types. So there is the Ultra. Ultra is most modern, most heavy model, but it is very accurate and then giving very high quality. And then Pro is the most like the general. Most of the people using the Pro nowadays, Pro have a new version, which is the Gemini 1.5 Pro. So that's why most of the people using Pro. And then Nano is more like the embedded mode, edge device model. So actually, the Gemini is not the open model, so it is closed model, but they giving the API. So Nano designed for giving the API to the mobile phone. It is very fast and then giving very low latency. Nano has announced their hyperparameter size, and then Nano has 3.25 billion hyperparameter, which is very small. So there is the three size, and then Nano has the Nano 1, Nano 2. Nano 1 is the 1.8, and the Nano 2 is the 3.25. Most of the major vendors such as Samsung or Apple, they are having the partnership with Google to including Nano to their phone, as I know. For Gemini, there is the multiple way to use the Gemini. So I tried to make the Google AI Studio first, and then I remove all the slide, and then I change it to the Google Cloud Vertex AI API. By the way, there is the four. There is the target user. For Gemini Web, it is target for general users. General user means who is not developer. So they actually don't know about how to making the prompt. They are just using by replacing some search engine. They want to just know about like the result as much as best by typing some text in the some web input. Second is the more like the developer version. First is the Google Cloud Vertex AI Generative AI Studio. That is similar like the Gemini Web, but the major difference we need to access to the Google Cloud, and then there is the more customized parameter will be given, so we can customize it. So we can test in this web very fast. After that, we can use the API. So Vertex AI API for Gemini is more like the enterprise user-based service. So it is very, very professional. And then it is very, very well designed for prompt. And the final is the Google AI Studio. Google AI Studio is more like the developer-friendly interface. So Vertex AI is a little bit professional feeling like, so it is very flexible for customizing, but it is very hard to understand because there are huge interlocking components package. So it is hard to understand, hard to getting started. But Google AI Studio, it is very easy to know. Just click the Get API and then using some SDK, then that's it. But in Spain, the Google AI Studio not yet prepared, so we can use the three options: Gemini Web, AI, Generative AI Studio, and then Vertex AI API. So I will talk about these two because the Gemini Web is very easy, so you don't need any of the presentation about it. So to start the prompt engineering, we need to talk about the instruction based in context learning. Do you know this figure? You don't know? This is the transformer model. This is something like the machine learning thing. By the way, this is very important figure in machine learning field, especially like natural language processing, because most of the large language model are made based on transformer model. So Gemini customizing the decoder part of transformer, that's the Gemini. So this is the Gemini 2023 technical report. And then they mentioned they using the decoder only transformer. So that is the Gemini. That is the model architecture. So how Gemini can be made? I will explain one by one. So there is the LLM architecture, which is the customized transformer model. And then they put very, very huge and large amount of crawled content from the web. So mostly Google like the Google document from the search engine. That is the content they just put without any of the hint. Then the model can understand, okay, this word can be displayed after this word. We can pull token. After that, we can get the pre-trained model. That is the first model, but that is not good because they only know about the relationship between token to token, token to token. That's it. But we will give us some powder. So we were using some instruction data. So we can give a command, and then we will give a expected result to the model. So that is the golden label. So that is the supervised learning. So we will fine tuning by using instruction labeled corpus. Then we can get the fine tuned model. That is the Gemini. And then we get Gemini. That is the easy version. Actually, there is the alignment learning. There is another processing, but that is the mostly the abstract version of the model. So after that, if we give an instruction, then they give a result. So instruction is the kind of the command or rule to model. Then model will give us the output. So instruction can have to make the agent. Agent is the small abstract model. They can solve some user request. So by instruction, we can make our own agent. That is the prompt engineering. So this instruction need to understand about prompt engineering. This is example of the what instruct data looks like, instruct corpus. So we can actually access to the Hugging Face, but it is not important. There is the input and output, that is the given instruction. So with instruction, we will give a request, then user will, the model will give the output. And then we will teach this data to pre-trained model, then instruction-based model will be made. And to the instruction, to the command, there is the structure. First, we need to give a characteristic to the RMM. That is the system prompt. And second is that we will give a rule. And then third is we need to give a. And then we'll put some format as output. After that, that is the single text, that is the user input. By the way, there is the structure. First is the URL sentimental classifier system. Second is the, I will give a rule. So there is the input, there is the output, and then you should return between this category, happy, sad, angry, neutral. After that, I will give an input. That is the user input. That is the dynamic variable. And then I will give an output. Then I am expecting the LLM will fill in next. So your turn, you need to fill in the next. That is the how prompt works. So actually, this is the Vertex AI Studio UI. And then I will just put as the user input. Then LLM give us output happy. So output happy, but I only need the happy part. I don't know why they give like the output twice, because I already give it. So I will give a more example. That is the shot. So system, after that, I will give a shot. Shot is the example. So for shot, it is the few shot. This is the happy part, like the good part of the GDG Barcelona. And second is the sad part about the GDG Barcelona. And third is the more like the angry part. And then the last is the neutral part. I will bring in the example, that is the shot. After that, that is the shot. After that, I will give a by input at the last. And then giving the output, I'm expecting the next. And then the LLM do the right thing, right? So that is the basic of the prompt engineering. That is the basic of the how we can give an instruction. Actually, to go more like the deep level of the prompt engineering, there is the multiple technique. So RAG is the most popular technique to making some business solution. And second is the how we can increase the quality of the output. That is the chain of thought. And third is the React. React technique is the known as function calling of OpenAI. React is the finding some action item from the prompt, like the calling some function, search the server as this parameter from the user prompt, that kind of thing. And fourth is the prompt chaining, like the making some connection between the agent to agent or element mode to element mode. And the fifth is few shot prompting. We already see the shot technique, right? And finally is the tree of thought. Tree of thought is more like the ambiguous part to say. We will making some thinking as the tree hierarchy and then making some conclusion from multiple thoughts. That is the tree of thought. I will give an example next. And then for prompt structure, there are already a lot of the structure technique has been made from society community. First is the idea, giving the rule and then task and format, such as this. And tag, task, action, goal. And here is the context, action, result, establish. So there is the technique such like that, but it is not important. There are many of the structure variants in the community. It is more than 10. This is the small example.
Is there any difference in the results at the end of the day? Is there one that performs better than others?
That's right. That's a good question. Actually, it is the output will be different, but more than output, it is the depends on the situation. So if we have a specific rule, then we can consider using the IT app. But if we have only the task and then what we need to do and what we are expecting for the result, then we need to consider to care, such like that. So it depends on the situation. If we know the answer, if we know the rule, then we can give a rule. Then we can consider the item, such like that. But like for making some copyright, but we have like the feeling, like okay, making more like a casual, and then we need to reach the impression more than like the 700, but currently 30. But most of the user interested in the passion. How can we solve? Then we need to consider care because we have context and then we have some examples, but we don't have a rule, right? Yeah, that is a little bit abstract situation, right? So it depends on the situation, more like that. So best is if we have a rule and then if we have an example, then like this kind of the structure technique doesn't need it. Like before we already see the answer, that is the best. That works best. Like giving the rule and giving the shot, that will work best. And many of the LLM vendor, they are thinking, they are care about the responsible AI. They care about like the output quality in terms of the toxinical or bias or safety issue or the adversarial attack of the prompt, like the leakage of the prompting, something like that, security part. So in Gemini, they have like the keyword about the responsible AI, and then they give a score of how much the toxinical text can be given, and then we can control. So if we give a very strong restriction, then even if there is small bias, they will cutting out. So something like that. And then already Google Cloud, they give best practice of the RAG technique. RAG technique is more like the technique, if we have a knowledge base, if we have our own domain knowledge, And if we wanted to use our domain information to the prompt, then we need to consider RAG. So if user asks about the possibility of this face, actually the Gemini will know, right? Even if there is the information in the web, that is the small part. So we need to give more high weight to the specific space. Then we need to consider the RAG. So RAG concept is if user asks with specific query, we are using embedding cosine similarity. So embedding search to our database first, and then there is the output, right? We will getting the top end output, and then we will combine that information as context of the prompt with the user query. User query with the top end information, we will give that to the LLM as the prompt. Then LLM will bind within the context first. That is the instruction, like the tuning by using the embedding search. I will give an example after the slide. And there is the specific structure of how can we package the LLM for real production situation. There is the safeguard pattern. So if some user input have some problem like a toxinical pattern, then we can cut out. Or if model give us some toxinical text, then we can cut out. Or nowadays most of the user they try to jailbreak the LLM system. So then our system information can be displayed for some reason. That is the problem of the AI. Or there is another critical problem is hallucination. So from the LLM, they are good. They are pretending they know very well, and then they just lie to user. Then the critical product issue can be made. Even when we think about the financial system, and they trying to making some big number of wrong number, then the company can be shut down. So for preventing that issue, Google already designed validation step. So they are checking URL, double check after getting the LLM output. They try to search the Google, and then they check the information is correct. If information is wrong, then cutting the information, something like that. That is already included in the Gemini feature. Yeah. That is actually quite interesting. And about nowadays, there are a lot of the model prompt engineering technique has been released to the prompt engineering guide. I recommend to see the prompting guide.ai. There are a lot of the examples in the sidebar. So you can check after the finish the presentation. I really highly recommend, strongly recommend this guide. But I will start. So this is the first I am thinking to demonstrate. That is the Google AI Studio. This is the Vertex AI AI Studio. I like it. So this is the cloud web, and then if we click the multimodal, the Vertex AI side panel, then there is the text. You can put the text in here. Then there will be the output. Simple, right? So I will quickly demo with Vertex AI Gemini API first. Yeah, and then I will switch to the AI Studio. So okay, live demo. Can I move the mic to the nearby the notebook? So you can also use it. You can also use it, or you can just watch. Yeah, you can do what you want. I will just stay at the 10 seconds. By the way, do you know how to use the core app? This is core app URL. Core app is really easy to use. Yeah. And about the API access, I will give a credential of mine. This is the credential. So if you connect this website, then you can see the like the JSON file. So that is my credential. Okay.
Oh, how it's
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
sorry, people online. I hope your ears is fine.
Sorry about that. I really don't know what's going on. So I will give a demo. This is correct. Oh, why Korean? Switch to the English. Okay, can you see this correct? First thing you need to do is you need to download this credential. After that, you can click the file and then upload this credential file to the core app file like that. Then you can see the credential in here. After that, we can run the cell one by one by clicking Shift plus Enter. So we will download Google Cloud AI platform for using the Vertex AI API. And then, yeah, it will take a time like approximately 10 seconds. After that, we will start the session. Yeah, and then we will learn one by one. So we are importing the Vertex AI package first, and then load the credentials. And my account can access Gemini 1.5 Pro. This is preview. We'll use it. And then if we ask to the why is the sky blue, then the Gemini will answer by API. This is actually looks like the streaming. So they filling one by one as the streaming way. Yeah, this is how we can use the Gemini in API. So we can ask, and then Gemini will give us output. Yeah, there is the many guide, but I will skip one by one because this is looks like the same. But the difference between the previous task and then this task, this interface is more like a chat. So we can give to the LMM the previous message, history message to the LMM with like this is your message and this is my message. This is the history, and then I will give ask the new cache as that kind of the history can be combined as the Python list and then give to LMM because the LMM is really stateless service. So we need to give history data every time, we need to query it, and we need to put the previous context, and then we will combine them as the list, and then we need to give.
That's just also quicker than model, the other model.
Yeah, same. Like you mean the?
I mean the response time. It's less in chat.
So actually for the connection payload, it doesn't make that much big difference. But the latency could be slower than before because input token size will reflecting the performance, but it is not a lot. Actually, the chat interface has been optimized a lot, so it doesn't make that much big difference. For example, Gemini 1.5 Pro, they support the 1 million tokens, but they still fast.
Sorry, let's just check with people online if they're following, because they messaged that they lost a bit, but did this link solve everything? All good? Now we are here, yeah? Okay, I guess we can move on. If you will feel that you lost, please unmute and tell us, okay?
Okay. So this is the example of what chat history looks like. So we will give us some annotation. This message is as user, and this message is as model. This is the previous message history, something like that. And this is the guide of the text, but there is another guide of the vision. And vision feature is very interesting because Gemini is multimodal model, and multimodal means one single model can support multi-type of the content, like text, image, video, audio can be input. And then we can put together like the image with text, video with text, such like that. So if we import multimodal, and then there is the helper function, we will bring the cat. So this is cat image, and then we will give a prompt. So we will give an image with text. Image is cat, and then prompt text is describe this image. So then the model can give us, this is cat, like the walking in the snow, something like that. So they understand the feature. This is the same thing. Yeah, and model can understand this is the boat. And then if we give a few shot concept to this prompt, this model, like the same as the previous, like the example sentimental classification. So we can describe the format. First, I give a image, Big Bang, and then I will give a JSON format input prompt, like the London Big Bang. And second is the Paris, and then Eiffel Tower, and then final, I will just give an image, and then I am expecting the text. But this is the LLM text, but they understand the format, right? So they filling the format same way. So that is the future concept. And the final one is the video. So we will bring the video. That is some commercial video, as I know. I'm not sure.
Is there a restriction on the resolution or the weight video?
For 1.0, there will be, the duration must be less than 4 minutes, as I know. But 1.5, the duration is they support 2 hours.
But is it 2 hour of 4K video, 2 hour of 1080p, 2 hour of 360p? What's the resolution?
It is very hard to say, but as I know, they are demonstrate 720 multiply 640, as I know. So which is the HD? Not HD, right?
HD ready.
Yeah, HD ready. Yeah, semi HD, fuzzy HD. By the way,
Sounds like it.
yeah, I'm not sure. Why I'm not sure? Because I also have no access 1.5 vision. So that's why. But in the technical report, they don't mention about the resolution limitation. They just mention about the token limitation. That's it. So I really have no idea about that. Sorry about that. Yeah.
So what is the prompt here?
So I will explain it. So this prompt will ask about the video information. So answer the following question, but one by one. what is the present profession of the main person, and then what are the main features of the phone highlighted, which city was this recorded in, something like that, but provide the answer JSON. So then they will give us JSON output.
And you're not even given the format of JSON. So you just
Yeah, they understand because they already pre-trained the JSON data too. So they understand what JSON is. So I will give another highlight after the finish the slide. If the common society know that word meaning, then LMM understand the meaning. So we don't need a specific rule about what is the JSON, something like that. Because we can think LMM is some high school student, but they have an expertise book. So they reading it and they give an answer. That's the LMM looks like. So we need to give a specific rule when if we wanted to solve some specific area topic, but for no common topic, we don't need to mention it. Yeah. So they give a answer this three question as the JSON key. So person this is the answer of this question, and second is I think Google Pixel 8. The video has been display this. I'm not sure, but they must be. And then the third is the Tokyo. So you can check it because the collab is open. So this is the basic concept of the Gemini. Yeah, this is the basic demonstration. And second is how can we use the embedding? Embedding is the more like the abstract feature of the specific information. So that is just something representation. So there is no meaning. The vector is just bunch of float number. But if we check some Euclidean distance between two words, then we can see the meaning. So for example, cold, hot is opposite meaning, right? Then this theta distance will be a little bit large. Yeah, so something like that. Then we can find the similar meaning text. So I will give an example. How can we use this? So I will give an example of how can we solving some recommendation problem. For the traditional way to recommend some item, we need to put core of the user interaction of the item. For in the case of the Amazon shopping case, we need to put the shopping item list to the model, and then we need to give all the engagement history of the user with item to the model, and then we need to train the model. If new product has been displayed, then we need to retrain the model. That was the previous traditional recommendation problem, such as the collaboration filtering or matrix vectorization. But nowadays, most of the company, they are using modern way, using the content context to the model, or giving the content context information to the model. So embedding is the best fit for that. So we will load all the library. This library is for visualizing, and the Vertex AI, and then progress bar, something like that. We will import all the package we need, and then we will put the credential in here, and then we will initialize the Google Cloud, and then we will put the credential information to the Vertex AI, and then just a second. Just a second. And then I will load the movie data. So movie data to the data folder. Here, we have a movie CSV file. After that, we will load the movie information to the pandas. And when we see it, we can see the 500 movie in here, right? After that, we will use the embedding API of the Vertex AI, which is the text embedding Gecko 3 model, which is the latest model of the Vertex AI. So this model, we can call the text embedding input as the given text of the function. This is the helper function. So if we put some text, then the output will be embedding. And embedding looks like the list of the plot. We will converting all the movie title with the genres as the single text, and then we will put to the helper function get embedding, and then we will put all the embedding information to the embedding column. It will take the time a little bit, but we can wait. We can wait 40 seconds, then there will be embedding. This is the output pre-built it. So embedding looks like the meaningless, like the junk value, but it definitely has the meaning.
This movie information is not contained in foundation models.
Yeah,
It's not there.
yeah. But
It's a famous movies because maybe it's already in foundation model.
yeah, that could be the caption, but if we put some 2024 movie, it works the same way. So it doesn't matter model know the movie or don't know the movie. It embedding looks like the just clustering that text point to somewhere, but it doesn't meaning about movie. Even if we ask some cache, like the junk cache about the giving some like the brown movie, then they give us some movie. So it doesn't matter. It even if like the model doesn't know about that is movie, they will give an answer, similar answer. Yeah. So it is the different like the perspective to serve the but yeah, that was the good caption. I will keep in mind. So that could be the also the caption. So if we put some movie with AI and machine, but science fiction and space fantasy, then we can finding some similarity score in here. So every single of the row will have a value. So range is from 0 to 1. So like the close to the 1 is more like the similar value, but I just put 500. So I'm not sure this is the similar to the AI or Blade Runner. It's more like the cyberpunk, like the style movie. So that's why they give us that.
So in this case, the similarity is to this AI and machine movie, which is in the science fiction space fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. So they give us a high like a similarity when this movie title or genres near to the like the Discord. Yeah. So this is the quite confused to understand what's going on, right? So I will visualize it. Just a second. So this is the recommendation result by sorting to the top 5. So we can use it. How can we find the similarity? There is the way about to find some theta distance between the specific dimension point to the dimension point. That is the way to how can we get the specific score of the similarity? So that cosine similarity function has been imported from the scikit-learn library. Yeah, so that is the quite popular mechanism. And then we were using some visualize technique by TSNE. TSNE is good for finding some pointing vector from the multiple vector. So actually, as I know, this embedding has the 764 dimension. We were compressing that dimension to the tree. Yeah, so X, Y, Z, Z. After that, if we visualize it, then we can see some space, and then we can see the movie, and then there is the color point, right? So blue is the most low similar, and then the red is the most similar, and there will be some pattern, but I just give a 500. But real demo was a 9,700. If we put that much information, then we can see some pattern. But this is the quite high dimension. So if we put some more low dimension, such as 2 dimension, then we can see 2D image, such like that. Then we can see the pattern. The most of the movie to the right top is similar to the science fiction. And then most like the outside of like the bottom left is quite far from user query, I think. Yeah, to the slide again, I already put 9,700 to the demonstration, previous demonstration. Then actually output was AI title, the movie, or robot. And then the right top of this area was quite far from the query, and left bottom was quite close to the query. By the way, that is the one of the use case of embedding. So what happened to this demonstration? Actually, there is the domain knowledge. We have a movie, right? We have a movie data. So we put that all data to the embedding, and then we store that vector to the data frame in this demo. And then we use the pandas data frame as the vector store. After that, if we get the user query, we use the concise similarity mechanism to finding the similar answer. We use the data frame apply function to search the vector search. But if we change this vector store to the database, such as the PostgreSQL or MySQL, something like that, there is also concise similarity function in there, because most of the data system, they actually change it very fast. They embracing the LMM changes nowadays, so they support the vector. So we can we can actually search the vector to the database in real situation, or we can search that to the BigQuery or the Spark nowadays. So most of the products nowadays, they serve that search mechanism by using the database. And then we can get the result. That's how we use the embedding. That is the embedding, small embedding example, but we already see more like the advanced technique, so we don't need it. Only we need is the model get embedding, that's it. Yeah, that is the embedding search example. And third example is more advanced way. How can we use the embedding? That is the actually RAG, the retrieval augmented generation. I will give an example of the retrieval augmented generation in the prompt guide. So this is actually a little complex guide, but the key is we have an embedding, right? So we first search to our database. Then there is the information, similar information. We will put that text information combining user query as the single input. We will put that to the LMM. Then LMM first finding the information from the prompt. After that, they found to the general knowledge, but they give a high weight to the prompt first. So then we can get the answer. That is the concept of the RAG. And RAG is nowadays most popular technique because the real product, they actually need their own database. For example, tour sites such as trip.com or Skyscanner, they need to find the flight ticket. best match, but it must be available. So they search the available ticket first, and then making the finding some embedding. They pre-build the embedding of all flight, and then using the vector search to the embedding server. After that, that flight information will be given to the LMM, and LMM will make more like the human-like output by using that information. So A076 ticket will be available. Then in database, there will be only ticket number. But if we give that information to the LMM with user query, then the system bot will using that information, but talking more like a human. Yeah, that is the use case of LMM, the RAG, sorry. So to the RAG example,
So you're asking for credentials, should show earlier.
okay, I will remind my credential. Please don't use that to the blockchain mining.
Excuse me, can I ask? This is more LG.
Uh-huh.
So we have embeddings for flights
Uh-huh.
coming from the companies,
Uh-huh.
the air companies,
Uh-huh.
and for example, you also have embeddings from hotels.
Uh-huh.
Availability, the prices, all the stuff, and also maybe the weather. Can you combine all these three embeddings, or you need to build one big embedding with all the data? What is the best approach here?
Actually, it depends on the situation, but embedding search will not that much take a time. It is the compute in terms of the computation cost, it doesn't take that much. But for making the embedding, it will take a cost. Search is not take a cost, but like building the embedding vector server, it will take a lot of the time, a lot of the cost. So if the specific feature, such as the weather or the number of the people or the country is matter, then we need to separate the embedding, and then we will combining similarity by formula. But if it is not that much mission critical, such as the movie genre or the movie actor or similar actor, such like that, then we can put all the metadata as the single text format. But we can give an annotation by giving some bracket in the text, where we can, if we give a asterisk in the text to emphasize some of the information, then embedding will understand. That is the interesting part. Actually, we can use the prompt such like the caption format to the embedding. It will work. So we can ask in the vector database by using the caption format data. Yeah, it really works. Something like could you find the AI movie with genre, like the science fiction, then they will understand. It will be very good case for multilingual case, more like multilingual case. Because if we ask some robot, but when we have a loop to the database, robot is writing as Korean robot, but embedding will work. Yeah, something like that. So that is the good part of the embedding, but it is a little blurry when we put together. So if that kind of feature mission critical, I recommend to use the rule base first. So for example, for flight availability, we must not use that available flag to the embedding search. We must filtering out by using query. So first we need to filtering out by using rule base, and in the candidate zone you can consider to use the vector search. So that is how RAG works. So to recap, to back to the example of the RAG. By the way, is it fast or is it slow? Okay, nice. Sorry about my bad English, really hard to explain. Mostly in Korea, we use Korean, so. So we will give an example of RAG. This is the actually Google guideline, but I will customizing it because the Google guide was first guide was the AI Studio. So we will import same as before, and then we will put in, credential information in here. Yeah, and then we start the session. I will change this to the English. And then I will set up all the information we need, like the Google Cloud project ID, and then region, and then credential, and then import the Vertex AI package, and then initialize the credential. Oh, it is slow. After that, we will load two models. First is the text model, and second is the multi-modal model. And then I will bring the some knowledge database from the GitHub content GitHub content storage. After that, I will download all the information in here. Yeah, this is actually, if we see this data, then this is the small PDF file like this, text and image.
And tables.
Yeah, and table, but table is not sure. This could be image. yeah, not sure. Yeah. And then we already download some helper function. Actually, helper function is really long, so it is hard to explain. But the helper function working like the passing the PDF and separate the text and image. That's how it works. And then helper function help us to search the embedding, image embedding, or text embedding by using the cosine similarity, something like that. So that's the function. You can actually read if you like the access to the correct. And then are we extracting the embedding from the specific PDF documentation before I need to import the help function. And then I will extract all the information from the PDF. So they are trying to extracting information from the page by page. Yeah, like this. Yeah, they are making the data frame from the PDF. So we are assuming that this data frame is database. For real case, we can replacing it to the database, or we can consider using the LangChain vectors DB. But fortunately, I have also demo of the LangChain use case, so I will explain it later. So we can extracting the PDF one by one. Oh, it takes a time a lot. Yeah, extracting embedding take a time. So mostly the extracting embedding not working as the real time. Batch processing is the best way to getting the information. So for example, if new content has come, then scheduler will catch that and then extracting the embedding. And before getting the embedding, that is automatically filtered out in the real like the query. So we can filter like the embedding is not nor such like that in the database. That is the real use case.
Other embeddings marketplace already somewhere when you can, not build your embeddings because it could be
interesting. I think there is, but the embedding, like if the embedding model has been changed, embedding value will be totally changed. And then actually the Google Cloud team embedding model has been updated like per 2 months. So I think that after that, the core embedding database must be changed if we upgrade the embedding API. So I think
Is there a marketplace for embeddings? Marketplace.
so. I didn't see the embedding data set yet. Because embedding model, there are a lot. OpenAI, they have their own embedding system, and then they have been changing the model before 2 months. And then like the Google Cloud, this Gecko embedding model has been released 5 months ago, so it will be changed soon. So that kind of the reason.
There's no kind of standard for it.
Yeah, there is no standard, and there be no never ever have any of the standard because the number of the dimension different, and like I'm not sure the OpenAI model they have a 3076 number of dimension for large embedding model, so that is different, and then high number of the dimension mostly representing good quality. So if model improved, then the dimension will be more detailed. Then all value must be changed. And this is the example of the safety controlling, but this was turned off for speed, but you can test it. Yeah, if you really want. So by clicking the command plus slash. By the way, I will skip it. This is the text information from the PDF. So there is the text, there is the embedding, right? So we already extracting all the embedding. It looks like the database. You can think this is some of the table. And then this is the image information. So image data with path and then source and then image embedding that is also list of the floating number. And then we can import helper function from here in here. And then we can see the examples. This is correct. I need details for basic and diluted net income per share of class A, B, C, something like that. Did I answer? Then we can find the result like this. So this could be useful to search to the PDF by using the human level query. And not only for the text, this is text example. Yeah, this is the summarizing or repurposing of the content by briefing some overview of the PDF. And this is the image example. So the query was, I need details, same query, but there is the table. Actually, this is image. Yeah. But for
is there basically
yeah,
it's absolutely there.
actually for image embedding, they are understanding the feature of the text. Yeah, but actually they tend like a strong for English first, but Spanish still good. But Korean it is not that much good. Yeah, as I know. Yeah. But they are upgrading very fast. So for someday we can expecting the multilingual strong multilingual support.
In this case, you asked for an image, right? Back?
We are how can I say? We are using the text embedding with the image embedding similarly check. So the query user input was the text, but search target was the image, and then we can get the image from the text.
So, but if you hadn't asked for an image, it wouldn't have found.
If you mean if the user input is image, right?
From what I'm seeing here, you're looking for a matching result that is an image.
Yeah.
If you hadn't been looking, if you hadn't told it to look for an image, you tell it to look within the text instead, it would not have found this
Actually, this is the function to finding the image.
image.
Yeah, but if we search to the image server with text embedding, and if we search the text server with the text embedding, and then if we combining it, it has the one single table, and then if we find n search result, then it will work. But I'm not sure how much is the correlationship between the text to the text similarity and text to the image similarity. Yeah.
If it is in the history, it should be work.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, it should be work. But how much it will be if the text embedding, image embedding, like the correlationship is 100%, then it will work perfectly. But as I think it will much like the 80 something by seeing the backup benchmark. Backup benchmark is the embedding benchmark. The embedding accuracy is not the 100%. It is the best model is the approximately 78%, as I know. You can see the Mac. The MTAP, yeah. Yeah, so that is the benchmark leaderboard. If we see the leaderboard, then there is the list of the model. Yeah, like that. So then we can see the accuracy in here. Yeah, so it is different between the text, between the image. So it could not be say a single clear answer. But as I see the Google Gecko text embedding, preview is high length, 5/5 length. Yeah, and it has been changing every time. So for example, the currently the OpenAI model is length 30 once. Yeah, it was 8 1 month ago, as I know. Yeah, so it has been changed so fast. Yeah, so war of LMM begin. Yeah. So we need to concentrate every time. It fast so fast. It changes so fast. It is very hard to catch them. Yeah, and there is another example, like to like the getting the information from the image or something like that. But I will skip it. You can see around because there is the one another demo. So we are in here, and then the presentation will be end to the 58. So I will do more. I will I will be fast. I will do more speed. So LangChain is the open source library. It helps us to controlling multiple LMM. So we can, in real situation, we are not using only one single model. So some of the model we were using our own model by fine-tuning open model with our data. That will be very small because mostly the open AI or Gemini model will have a more than 200 billion parameter, but open model, there will be 7 billion, there will be 2 billion, so it is not that much big. So if we have a 800 GPU, NVIDIA GPU card, that the price is approximately $20,000 per chip, but we need the 8 chips, then we can consider into running the 7 billion model, such as Llama or Gemma. But it is very good for secure, and then we can fine tune our own data, then we don't need to consider RAG, right? So most of the company, they are really passionate to making their own model nowadays. So if we have our model, but our model is not good for quality than the real large language model. But SLMM is kind of like trend. S means the small, but LMM is the large language model. So small large language model. It doesn't make sense. By the way, nowadays it has been one of the trend. So mix up with small model with large model will be more like the cost efficient. So by linking small brain with the large brain and then making the output from the large brain by distinguish the truth, because small model is very weak for hallucination. So final step verify all the truth from the large language model will work very well. So making the multiple brain as single agent is nowadays one of the mechanism of the LMM model chaining. And LangChain is good for orchestrate multiple model by single interface. So that's why we are considering using the LangChain. That is open source library. That means many of the open source based developer participate making some latest interface from open model changes. For example, if Gemini has been released, then some open source developer, they are contributing Gemma support, something like that. So to see the main features of LangChain, it is multi-platform capability. So it supports Gemini and OpenAI and Cohere and the Anthropic. Anthropic is known as cloud model vendor. And then modularity. One single library has standard interface. Single standard interface can control multiple model. So if we use the Gemini and then OpenAI GPT and then Cloud of Anthropic, we don't need to read all the documentation of each model. We can just control it as single interface. And then open source, it is very, very fast upgraded, and then they are embracing all the open model. And finally is the chain of thought prompting. That is the new keyword, chain of thought. We can call COT. COT, what is the COT? Actually, LMM is not the magic. LMM is one of the model, but it is being model. LMM is transformer-based model, and which means LMM act like a stochastic regulator. So what does that mean? This is the transformer. So they just predict next token from previous token. So there is the huge previous text. By putting that text, the transformer predict next token. That's it. So for this animation example, it is really hard. If we hover to store, there is the how much, the probability will be predicted. So strong color is the more like the high possibility, high probability. So that is how transformer works, and then they do that thing until the SAP has been displayed. SAP is special token, which means and. Yeah. So until and, they predict the next token. That's it. But they using previous tokens to predict the next token. That is important for COT. So without COT, if I give a very tricky question, so this is the question. 20 years ago, Marcos, is that common Spanish name? Yeah, I just really hardly found. Okay, Marcos was half the age of Alba. Is Alba a common name? Yeah, okay. Alba, and if Alba is 26 years old today, how old is Marcos? Just give me the answer, no explanation needed. So I ask, no explanation. This is the advanced. I am premium user, so I pay for Gemini. So this is the ultra. But they give an answer 17. So why? Why give me 17? This is wrong. So then they are explained one by one. And then at the last, okay, that is 23 years old. So they explain, and then they using that as the previous token, and they predict the next. Then it doesn't make sense. So the prediction probability has been changed from the previous explanation. So explanation is better. So thinking step by step by chaining of thought will increase the probability of the answer. So I strongly recommend to use the step-by-step explanation methodology to the prompt engineering. That will be works very well. That was mentioned Andrew Ong, professor of deep learning AI. Yeah, it works very well. So only the difference is I am asking the explanation step by step or without explanation. That is the difference. But answer is different. So that is another question. So Javier, is that right? Javier? I don't like that one. By the way, is that common? Oh, nice. It was hard. So Javier wears a green hat when Alba wears a black hat, and he wears the complementary color to the hat Alba wears if it is not black, something like that. That is the three. There is the three people, and there is the condition, but that is the some link. So I will give a first people state, but they think the chaining state changes, and then they need to answer the binary, the people state. But without the step-by-step thinking, they give a wrong answer. But if we ask the step-by-step thinking, then they give a right answer. That is the.
It's like on the right without COT. It's give us the next token based on the.
Yeah. So for example, if they bring some age token in here, they're using this previous token to getting this one.
And with COT, it's like continuously updates the prompt.
Yeah.
And predicting the next token based not only the initial prompt, but also on the.
That's right. Yeah, initial token plus the previous tokens. Yeah, that's right.
But I guess this can only work as long as the previous token output does not surpass the maximum tokens that like, for example, I believe it's 1.5 million tokens, the maximum that Gemini can handle, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So see if the previous token output is more than 1.5 million, then you're not going to keep this context in memory for the next step.
Actually, they just give up. They give up. They give the system error. Yeah. So actually 1 million.
1 million.
Yeah, and that is the system hard error, and there is the software error too, behavioral error. If we ask too much large output, something like over than like the 10, how can I say, 100 K tokens, then they give us very vivid output at first, and they vanishing the previous. What did I say? And then they forget rule, and then they give us some nonsense output. So that is the, how can I say, haystack problem. So for Gemini 1.5 Pro technical report, they are very proud to solving the haystack problem. Actually, Claude, as I know, Claude was supporting large token size, but they was failing of haystack problem. Haystack problem is finding leader in the haystack. So they give the approximately 10 hours video, and then finding the leader in that long video, they pass the haystack issue. So that is the case. But I am checking 1.5 a lot. because I have access. But actually, they also have some like the vanishing problem still. They forgetting the rule first, which I give as the input. So I think it still have some challenge to solving it.
The gradient vanishing issue, right?
It is actually not the gradient vanishing. Gradient vanishing is some technique in the training path, but that is the forward path. So it is not the gradient vanishing, but in terms of the vanishing, it is something like similar. Yeah.
That makes a difference when you put the most important facts in the beginning, in the middle, or in the end of the prompt. If your prompt is really big, what is the best strategy to place the most important tools?
Actually, in the technical core level, the representation dimension is the key. So if we put many tokens in the single latent space, then it will be going low resolution with no matter of the position. But for prompt engineering, if you put some specific rule, strong rule in the bottom, then it will get high weight. Yeah. This is the LangChain basic example. So we can use the way Google generative AI model, and then using the standard input. So this is different between the model to model, but only this. The another part is the same. This is the example of the chroma. Chroma is the part of vector DB of LangChain. So I have a lot of session. I'll get it. Change to the English. I will give a time to take a picture. Wow, the time flies. Okay, this is the final demo. I am thinking like preparing the 8 demos, it was too much, right? Oh, thankfully, yeah, I didn't.
Thank you for investing your time for this, because
Really? Oh, thank you. Yeah. I heard that in Spain the dinner is a little bit late, right? In Korea, every the time is so fast, so we starting eating the dinner at 6 p.m. But I already used to. Oh. So I am trying to import the package. Oh, just a second. I didn't install it. So only thing I need is to install the LangChain core, and then I will use the Gemini. So I will install the third party package of Gemini, and then I will use the vector DB. So I need to install the Chroma DB.
So vector DB is for storage of the embeddings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, store the vector. Yeah, vector store. Oh, it takes a time. Oh yeah, I import the credential. I will upload the credential here. Then we import. And then I load the documentation by using the web-based loader. So that is the benefit when we use the LangChain. There is the helper function a lot, very rich helper function, such as the load PDF to the Chroma DB. That's it. We don't need to extracting the image or text. Or helper function before we see things like the util package, we don't need it. LangChain, that's it. Then we can crawl the URL, we can crawl the image, we can crawl the PDF with single like the function. Yeah, and then I will make the document that is the chroma DB. So we will give information of the metadata with the text information. Text information is from the text content, and text content was from the web-based loader. Yeah. And then I will using the embedding one model to speed up. And then I will creating the vector store by using the chroma. Yeah, so actually this is the persistent directory. There is the persistent directory parameter. This is the local DB actually. But if we change this to the remote DB, another like third-party database, then it can be supported. So LangChain is the kind of like a standardized library to abstracting all the third-party single database. Yeah, that's the LangChain. And then we will use the vector store disk as the retriever. Then we can find the result. So K is the result like the candidate. So we will give 1. And then if we find the documentation by using the get relevant document, and we can find the result, but we will print the length first. And then we will give an example of the RAG. So this is the example prompt. You are an assistant for question answering task. Use the following context to answer the question. So I will give a context. If you don't know the answer, just say that you don't know. That is important prompt. If we don't give it, they will give a hallucination answer, like that they have a super competence to answer it, but it's totally wrong.
How does it understand that it doesn't know the answer?
Actually, in the prompt, inside of the prompt, like the architecture, they actually how can I say, the value of the competence. They actually have a logic. So based on the logic, they are like the how can I say
kind of template.
Yeah, but it is hard because that is the core technique of the RMM vendor. So it depends on the company. Actually, I don't know much about it. So actually, even if I read like the 90-page of the Gemini technical report, they don't mention about it. So I don't know. I reviewed 2 days ago, double checked it, but there is no any such like that information. But in the logic, definitely sure they will check the logic inside of the model, in the heuristic like the part.
Is it probability based? Like if it's less than 50% certain about what the next word is, then it doesn't know, and then it will hold it back.
No, it is not the abstract value. It is the length-based value. So we don't know by like we don't set the threshold, but we can set the length. So they give a length about the how can I say that related keyword. If so that's why it is really hard to explain it. And I'm not sure even they use it or not. It depends on the vendor. But why I just retyping the OpenAI first? Yeah, Gemini doesn't give any of the logic. Yeah, so OpenAI give a logic. So it doesn't have a meaning by seeing the single output. But if we have 2 candidates, we can compare it. So based on that, we can consider this is hallucination or not. So that kind of the thinking. And
Is it a bulletproof solution, what you say here? Like, will it never answer if it doesn't know, or will it sometimes hallucinate and give you an answer if it does?
so it is hard to say. This is regulator. So they putting some if you don't know, right? And then just say you don't know, right? So they try to giving us the answer from previous tokens, but don't have a high weight at the time, because mostly common knowledge at the time people say don't know, because there is no any pre-trained data. And usually this case, most of the website or most of the YouTube video or most of the Wikipedia actually they don't say don't know. By the way, in the Wikipedia history update, in the comment of each revision, they actually mention don't know, right? So at the time, most of the people say don't know, and then don't know have a high probability token, because we mentioned at the input, if you don't know the answer, just say don't know. Because this context, mostly in the website, has a relation don't know at this information. So then they give a little high weight, don't know, with a little low confidence. So that's how it works mostly. That is the instruction fine-tuning model. They usually happen like that because they use code and then they use the most of the instruction well-known data. For example, if I use the supervised fine-tuning by using the 2 billion Gemma model by using Korean instruction data, then they usually working well. So based on that, actually Gemma model, they don't have any of the checking heuristic logic. So I think by only using the instruction tuning, it works. So I think they actually don't have a lapping the heuristic logic at the time. Yeah, but not sure, because that is the hidden, that is closed model. So use 5 sentences maximum and keep the answer concise, and give a caption, give a context, right? That is the user input, and that is the embedding search output. So after that, the LangChain is good for structuring the prompt. So this is the placeholder. So we can put the information at here. So we will make the element prompt. That is the template. So we made the template, but they expecting 2 variables, right? Context and then caption. And then we were collecting the context by using the retriever. What is Gemini? Yeah, that is the LangChain. LangChain is using the context as retriever. And then by using the format docs, this function will concatenate all the document content, and then using retriever to search. And then caption is the just like the pass through the user prompt. But if we use the chaining, like using the input as the output of another LM model, we can making some pipeline, another pipeline. But this is the entry point, so we are using the pass-through. So this is the chaining concept. So LMM prompt, and then using LMM, and then string output. So that is the pipeline. Then LangChain will making some connection between the step by step. So then we can using that kind of the RH part. Yeah.
There is an option to format the answer like a markdown.
What is the markdown?
Markdown is like Gemini automatically answer with markdown. You know. You know, Markdown.
Formatting.
Markdown. Yeah, definitely possible. Yeah. So sorry.
It was a little tension because everybody was wondering, oh, doesn't know Markdown. How could it be?
I will give us some examples. So please make mermaid expression. Do you know mermaid expression? Of LMM component. So this is mermaid expression. Mermaid is the one of the expression to drawing the chart or diagram. So mermaid live, then we can see the diagram connectivity, or could you make manim? Do you know manim? Manim?
Vertex.
Yeah. That is the video rendering by using the vector, the shape. So they actually can making some playable vector image. If you know 3 brown, 1 blue YouTube video, something like the very complex, the pattern of the neural, animation that was made using Manim library. Manim is the open source library to explain the very, very complex vector image. So if we ask the specific Manim expression by using the LMM, they actually give a code and we can play, but looks terrible. Yeah. So Microsoft, they will try to see how much LMM can do. They actually making 3D world by using the LMM. So they actually made the report over the 100 by using the GPT. How much they can do. So they actually making the report by using that, but actually it takes time. You can find it. Microsoft research team, GPT, the simulation, something like that. Yeah.
Show again the front of the Markdown also.
Let me see. You wanted to see the Markdown example?
Just how to change Markdown or to set Markdown or any.
Could you explain it with Markdown snippet? Yeah, then they will give a snippet like this. Yeah. Or we can give an input as Markdown, or just a single Markdown snippet, please, no explanation. Actually, we can try it, but for Gemini Web, this is Gemini Web, not the AI the studio, right? Actually, in this, like the friend, this friend doesn't follow them much, because this is made for human, like the just non-developer. So they don't much follow the instruction. They try to do the best to explain something, even I ask no explanation. But if we do AI Studio, the strict format must be followed, right? So they follow very well. Yeah. So that is the major difference between this and that. Yeah. Why this?
Because to visualize it is not down and then there is no highlighter.
Actually, the rendering the Markdown doesn't have much time. I think that is something the internet issue or bug. I think.
No.
Maybe
It's confused the render.
Maybe it's confused because it's not doesn't have any information to render this Markdown.
No. The render of the web interface for Markdown. So the answer is just Markdown that is interpreted by the visualizer viewer.
No, actually the Markdown visualization will work real-time way. So it will be very fast. I think the previous like the prompt was very bulk. Could you make the Spain population table and common income? Yeah, they will work very fast, something like that. Could you make it a little more complex? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and back to the actually, could you make Matplotlib chart? It will very working very well. Oh, no. Okay. And so this is about the Gemini web time. So I will give a more hallucination prevent feature of Gemini. So could you recommend archive paper URL list? Then they give a URL, but if the URL is invalid, they change the URL very quickly. Could you give us GitHub URL too? If URL is invalid, then they will cut off the URL. Yeah. There's no any hallucination. Yeah, this kind of the way to remove it, and then we can double check by using Google. And then we can check the invalid case by using the Google search. That's the case of the Gemini. Yeah, and that is the one another tip. If we give 100 tip, then the model give a very rare answer. Then mostly the LMM tended to give a good result. So LMM, if we give $100 tip, if the LMM give us very good answer. If we give more higher tip, then model actually have a correlation between the number of the dollars. So, for example, yeah, this kind of the result. So if user give the over than the $200, yeah, then the answer tended to be great. Yeah. Yeah, that is clear actually. So that case we
Really, what the money is.
yeah. Also, that is the quite like that is the very funny, but also technically that was very correct because the 200 tips means that very higher positive rate. So that is the work as reward. So then reward mostly tend to giving high rank, and I omitted about after the fine-tuning day using the reinforcement learning from human feedback methodology to tuning the LMM. For that, human labeler ranked the model result by getting the sample. then the high positive information will be worth like at the time to be high length of the item. So tip actually works very well. And if we give like the very bad word to give the feedback of the machine result, then machine actually tended to avoid that answer, that kind of answer, because they're getting very, very negative feedback from the user. So that kind of way. But tip can like giving some specific score. That was the quite interesting topic. Yeah. So to conclusion, sorry to take a lot of the time. So for better agent, do provide few shots. That is best. Give an example. And begin with a description in the prompt. So explanation first, and then finally give us answer that will work best. And then if there are too many conditions, use prompt chaining. Putting many conditions as single element, it is not that much good idea. So using the chain of thought mechanism, the small model will give a step one output, and then based on the step one output, give more like the prompt, and then getting the another output. So for example, if we design some persona, giving some characteristic to the LMM, like to getting more human-like feedback, but the information must be very accurate. But if the persona is kind of like the child, then the answer will be wrong, because usually child giving wrong answer, right? So firstly, we do machinical, very academical answer from the prompt output, and then that output, giving that output to the another child-like talking persona LMM, and then making the output, then it works very well. So the truth agent and then persona agent will be separate. Yeah, that case.
How many levels? Like, until what level is this a good idea, and how, like, if I do this, if I chain 100 different things, is it still going to remember the first thing that I asked it for, or?
It is hard to distinguish that kind of the level because that is the very, very huge complexity. But mostly if we need to design the persona, like the mental design or persona design, then we should separate without any of the region. I recommend to separate. Yeah, because the giving some character to the model is different topic, different task. But if we ask some task with the persona design task, then we giving the two tasks at the single agent, then agent will not working very well. So making the truth data based on the logical thinking by logical prompt. After that, giving more like tone or persona or the like the MBTI of the agent will work very well. So I already have experience a lot because I am making English teacher. So English grammar check prompt first, and then giving like the friendly persona second, such like that. It works very well. If without that kind of the separation, to be element to like try to be kind and then omit to feedback, give the feedback, and we don't know that because model doesn't explain about that part, right? And using persona design as a way lead process, that was, as I said, and prompt with commonly known word. So don't use the specific words. Like if your company using company domain word, change that to the common word as much as possible. So for example, my company is education company, right? As I said, so we have a specific our company level word SP. SP is score prediction. if we put SB to the model, they don't understand, right? Then we need to explain XP is something like that. But if we looking some paper, there is the commonly used word, right? Using that, then without explanation, they will work best. Yeah. And then putting like the explanation for specific topic mostly have a bad quality. So instead of that, using the common word. And then for better agent, do not trust the result of RMM output. So double check every time. Put some validation logic or safeguard of the cloud API. And do not skip prompt evaluation system. So set the evaluation metric using the Bleu or Luigi, something like that kind of the LLP evaluation metric. Because for us, for my case, I am making caption generation prompt based on the reading material. Please making the caption for student. That is the prompt. But someone asked, what is the good caption? Oh, that is really hard. So we are trying to change the prompt every time. So what is the good prompt? What is bad prompt? We don't know. What is the good caption? What is bad caption? It depends on the student. If the high school student, the more like the academic caption will be good, but more like the child student, retention is most major factor, right? So we need to give a standard. So firstly, what we do, we are making the score, like the caption score model first. And we use that score model as base. And then we make the leaderboard, and then we change the prompt, and then we recheck all the previous reading material, and then check the score, and then average the score, and then seeing the group by subject, and then we finally figure out, okay, that is good caption, and then labeling that way with this guide, and then we label 46 category, and then we made a dashboard, and then we update the prompt. That's what we do. So set the evaluation system, we need to set the baseline first, because every time we try to update, we don't know what is the good output, because this is the real world, and bunch of the text, there is no any of the that formula to getting the score. And do not omit the judgment criteria for each step. So step consistency is the chain of thought concept. And what is that? So measuring some specific number is not good for LMM. So if I ask the CFR score, that is the standardized English score, the LMM mostly they give C1 score. Yeah. So the measuring is really bad for LMM, but comparing is really good for LMM. So for us, I need to solve the CFR score measuring by using LMM. But if we finding some confusion metrics is looks like the matrix, and then the diagonal, the each like the scalar is the representing some match rate, and then one is best. But if we using just without prompting, without like the comparing, just measuring the score without any of the comparison, then the computation metrics looks like the have some bias to the most left and most right. But if we compare with, okay, this is the usual question, compare with the A1, compare with A2, compare with the B1, compare with B2, like that, then it works very well. And then we use that for production. Actually, error rate is less than 5%. So it is the really helpful guidance. And then make prompts that produce too much output. So do not. Actually, there is the about this is about vanishing problem. So the LMM is very creative at beginning, but to the last, LMM doing like the dumb. So don't make too much output. Don't expect too much output. Just making smaller and then chaining with LMM, another LMM. That will be works best. Yeah, that's it. Again, sorry my bad English. All done. Yeah. Any question? No?
I think we already asked all the questions.
Right. Thank you for that.
We can do in the network connection.
Let's ask then online people because they will not join us for the networking.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? You can unmute and ask, or if it's not possible, you can message in the chat and we'll read and answer your questions. I think, yeah, I think we can wrap it up. I think I was.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for attending my presentation. Yeah. Yeah. All
Thank
done.
you so much.
Thank you.
So we will have the recording of this event. I can see that we have a nice light. So everyone will receive the recording probably next week. It's going to be on YouTube. So you will be able to continue research and you will be able to repeat everything step by step.
But you will remove your API key before.
I will disable the credential. Yeah. Before people going back to South Korea.
So what kind of cloud we need? Maybe can we use the Vertex AI cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. So for Spanish people, for people in Spain, you have option if your email link to the Spanish phone number, as I figured this out, because I have this 1000 Vertex AI credentials, and I think you also have this 1000 Vertex credits.
Yeah.
So you can apply for free credits. I will try also to message this when I will be sending video. So for regular like cloud user, when you first time register, you receive 300. But if you have Spanish number linked to your email, when you will be registered with cloud.google.com/free, you will see 1000 for Vertex AI. So a lot of experiments can be done with this amount of money. Try it.
A lot of credit. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go on the Let's go on
Oh,
the
can I take a picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, people online, please don't go. Let's take full picture.
Yeah.
Let me. Let's stay here.
Okay.
We have. Somebody can sit here, for example.
Here?
Like all of us there next to the TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The pictures.
How can we show not the screen? Stop sharing screen, or maybe share the main.
If you have a background of the Vertex, like a build with AI Barcelona, then
We want to make a picture with the participants.
Got it.
Yeah, maybe.
I will stop the screen share.
Yeah. How can we? Where? Okay. Muy bien. Let's go make picture. I will make a picture.
You must be in the.
No, I will do
No.
here. You want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the host.
Somebody should be here because it's going to be a.
Come here.
If
Don't be shy.
if you feel it,
Over
please
here?
turn on cameras.
Can you hear me now?
Gracias.
Yeah. Okay, why not?
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah. Come here. Yeah.
I'll go around the other side.
Okay, shall we take a picture?
We
Come here.
have two people more.
Yeah. Come here.
And like this, like hard.
Oh, you know that.
Of course, we have
Oh.
good campus.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Gracias.
People online, see you next time. Next event will be in other place, so not here, not in Harbor Space, and next 2 events actually. But in May 7th, we have another Build with AI event, and you can join also. Feel free. So nice to see you. Bye.
Thank you. Ciao.
Adios.
Adios.
Adios. Adios.
Thank you.
By the way, they looks like they solved 2 more problems in the last hour. Hopefully they will.
It was same last time. We also have ICPT. I mean, we'll tell you.